Hello, Undisputed Boxing. We're back. It's prediction time, my favorite time. I'm here with Rick. We've got Demetrius Andrade is going to be defending his WBO Middleweight title against Liam Williams in Miami, I think. And obviously we've got the big one, Ben Askren versus Jake Paul. I don't think we're doing a prediction on that, but we can talk about it if you want. So Demetrius Andrade versus Liam Williams. How do you see this one going, Rick?
I'm going Andrade on points.
Yeah,
is my view. Probably where the safe money is, I would have thought. I've not watched tons of Andrade, but I struggle to find some of his fights that entertaining. You know, I mean, it's on at a silly time here, and I'm not going to get up for it.
Yeah.
You know how excited I am about it. So Williams will bring it. I just think Andrade's quite classy and clever boxer, and you know, he might have to get through a few moments and that, but I just think he knows how to manage a fight, quite well. And I don't think Williams will bring anything that he can't kind of deal with. They might, you know, I'm not saying it's going to be a whitewash, but I think, you know, I'm struggling to see how, you know, he's a very tidy boxer. But I don't think he'll KO Williams. I don't think he often goes for it, and I don't think he has terrific power in the division.
No, I agree. I think it's difficult to see Andrade maybe stopping Liam Williams because he does. He has tremendous heart, tremendous chin. You know, we saw that in the Liam Williams fights. Those Liam Williams fights were pretty tight, actually. And that, you know, now that he's switched to Dominic Engel, you know, how much more is he going to improve? I don't think it's going to be enough to deal with somebody like, you know, Andrade's, you know, sort of footwork and clever inside mid-range boxing, his jab. I think almost in every department, you know, Andrade is better. And I just see this being a routine sort of points win. I think the only real risk is if Andrade is taking his foot off the gas in training, is maybe overlooking Liam Williams. I think, you know, that's the only thing that can stop him from winning. And I think that he really needs to make a big statement as well, to kind of, because there just doesn't seem to be any momentum with any of the big fights, any of the Charlo brothers, Triple G, Canelo. You know, Andrade just seems to be a million miles away from those fights, and it's kind of crazy, really. He's WBO champion. Two-time weight world champion. You know, it's like, what, you know, why isn't he getting these big fights? And if you look at his resume, it's very thin. Like, he hasn't got a fantastic resume for somebody that's been at the top of his game really since, you know, Brian Rose. You know, I think he beat Brian Rose maybe 6 or 7 years ago, and you know, we're still waiting for that kind of blockbuster rival.
I think I don't know if people look at him and just think, it can be sometimes a vicious circle, really. It's almost like he doesn't get a shot because he hasn't got as big of a profile, and he's not the most entertaining boxer, but he knows how to win on points and can make someone look a bit ordinary. Yeah. And therefore he doesn't get a shot at anyone. So he never seems to get any profile, which then doesn't help him getting a shot, if you know what I mean, around in circles. And I don't, you know, Hearn's pushed a little bit, but I don't think he's really propelled him anywhere yet. Now, you know, he's got Canelo, and that, you know, maybe the Canelo fight further down the road, but you know, have to see, or maybe, you know, if Billy Joe isn't successful and he might want to drop back down, or there's other fight. There's big names for him to be out. It's just doesn't seem to be able to put them together. Just while on the subject of Andrade, sorry. Who's the other guy that I always think of, because he signed them at the Matchroom around the same time? Jacobs. What's going on with Jacobs?
I don't know. He had that absolute stinker against Gabriel Rosado, and I think that was his last fight with Matchroom. And I don't think that they've renewed, so I think he's a free agent. A little bit like Michael Hunter. Michael Hunter was signed with Matchroom for a fight-by-fight deal, and he's a little bit in the wilderness as well. Yeah, that Jacobs fight would be a good fight. Although I think Jacobs and Andrade, I think they're quite good friends. So I don't know whether they would get in the ring together. And Jacobs doesn't really have anything. I think he stepped up to super middle. I think he's stepping.
Yeah,
up
I thought that.
point.
Yeah,
yeah. Andrade does suffer a little bit with that. He's just one of those fighters that gets the result. Andre Ward suffered with that a little bit. You know, he was such a great boxer, great boxing brain. Did well in the Olympics, turned pro, and he had a very stop-starty career. You know, and then the Super Six tournament came along, and that kind of didn't save his career, but it got him the big fights with all the big guys in the division, Jermaine Taylor, Arthur Abraham.
I think he had a bit more of a nastier streak in him.
Mikhail Kessler. Yeah, he did. Yeah, but he was just a very, very cute boxer with like really good box. You know, he always got the result, but he was never that great to watch either. Like his fights he was very good at fighting dirty. Fighting on the inside. The Carl Froch fight wasn't really that, a great spectacle, but he just always got the result. I think Andrade is a little bit like that.
So same prediction as each other then?
I know, yeah. We're going safe now that we're on level pecking. Have you got any thoughts on the Ben Askren, Jake Paul fight? Any prediction you want to throw?
Wouldn't know. I mean, I suppose, if I was pressed, I'd probably go with, who's been a professional fighter for longer.
So you're going Ben Askren? Okay.
That'd be my view.
Yeah.
But I'm not having it on my record. I know you.
Do you know what? I'm probably going to go maybe, yeah. I'll put it on my, yeah. I'd think Ben Askren as well. Yeah. Just because, he's got that, Jake Paul has only fought two other, non-boxers. I think it was an American footballer and another YouTuber. So he hasn't really fought anybody that's fought for a living. Ben Askren won everything there is to win, in the wrestling game. And then obviously MMA champion in Bellator, and then won championship, beat some massive names, Douglas Lima. So, he can't not throw a punch. And I just think he'll rough him up a little bit. Yeah, I'm going to go Ben Askren. I think I'm definitely going to watch it. I think it's quite interesting.
I won't be, but probably catch up with the result. Any news? I mean, we'll
quick news. Yeah, news roundup. Is there anything that we need to?
I mean,
report?
The big one is obviously, I know we talk about it all the time, but that's what all the big boxing channels like ours are going to be doing. Is the Fury AJ fight, and more positive news, I suppose. It seemed that we had a few bad videos in the week with Fury, saying stuff on Twitter, and his dad, who just seems, I think his dad's never been fully level-headed, and I think he's getting worse during lockdown.
Yeah.
I think if Tyson loses, he'll have a mental breakdown. He almost he almost sees his son as a god.
Yeah.
He says everyone's just a man, and a man can be beaten, but not his son. So his logic's all over the place. And I think if he got beat, Fury, his dad would have a mental breakdown. But then good news that they're getting the list of people bidding, or countries that are bidding today, and Fury seemed happy about that. So a bit more positivity, and it feels like it's going to be next week.
Yeah,
it feels like it'll be done next week. I think they say there's four bids, but when they name them, there sounds more like 6. But I think we've got Saudi seems still to be the front runners, and then you've got Qatar, Russia, London, and then Uzbekistan. I don't know if Tyson's making that up, but I've never heard that in the conversation, but he named them. And then America. London seems to be just kind of in there just for an option. And it sounds like Saudi is the one, the one. I think that's the one where Matchroom want to go, because I think they've almost promised it.
Yeah.
But we'll see.
So
hopefully,
well, isn't it?
say again.
it's tried and tested with the Andy Ruiz rematch. So why not go back there? Same setup, different venue.
So hopefully there's no debates over this. And I mean, I think it's going to be indoor though. If it's in the Middle East, it'll be indoor because it'll be so hot outside. Because it's their summer. So I think that will limit the capacity quite a lot.
Yeah.
So Singapore seemed to have fallen away.
Yeah.
I know that they were they were being mentioned a while ago. Hopefully they agree quite quickly, and then they can draw up the final bits, and we can have an announcement next week, probably the back end. But so maybe this time next week we can finally talk about it, or we might do a cheeky video in the middle of the week for some big views and subscriptions.
I'm up for I'm up for that. As soon as it gets announced, let's just we'll just jump on, even if we just do it off your phone again. Actually, the quality off your phone is a lot better.
I know.
Other news, actually, just I noticed Philip Hergovich, Michael Hunter purse bid for the 20th of April. So that's some interesting. I think that's the IBF, isn't it?
Yeah, I think if that falls through, Hughie Fury may get involved in one of those two.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, they were talking about Hughie Fury over the weekend in the bubble and that, and there was, he may have another kind of tune up, but he may end up, they basically want him this year to fight someone. They said we don't need any more. He's fought big names. He doesn't need, to go through the levels. He's gone to high levels and always just come up short. His losses have never been bad losses, have they?
Yeah.
The Pulev fight was not a bad loss. I mean, he got a cut early, and the Parker fight was very, very close.
Yeah.
The Povetkin fight was relatively close. And he's still only 26, I think.
Yeah.
So I think they may do one more kind of tune up, and then seem like they want to throw him in a really big fight and around that level.
Yeah, well, there's going to be a lot of opportunities for heavyweights at that level, I think, by this time next year, because all the belts will probably become available.
Yeah. Still no news on Wilder. No idea what he's doing. White's been quite vocal. Don't know if you've seen some of that, calling him out, saying he'll fight him in Alabama. The normal kind of talk that probably won't happen anytime soon, but still entertainment. So it's not real news.
All right, then. So same time next week, we'll do a quick review of the Andrade Liam Williams, and then it'll be prediction time for what fights do we have weekend after next? Weekend after next. I have to do a quick check on the schedule. 20.
Yeah, we're not quite near. The week after that will be the 1st of May ones, which is Chisora. That's quite, there's quite a lot in that one, the Chisora Parker card.
Yeah.
But I think, I don't know who we've got up next. The 24th might be a bit barren. I know Matchroom have got shows on, but I think they're like in Italy and places like that, or Spain. And it's just like, I'm not sure who. I don't really know enough of the people on the card.
Right.
Okay. But anyway.
All right.
Okay, radio.
Right. Okay. Enjoy. Have a good day. And thanks everybody for listening.